All right, 1 minute, man.
All right.
All right, 30 seconds.
Yep. You tell your dad I got an interview to do real quick. Thanks.
All right, everybody, welcome to the roundtable here on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. I'm your host, John Brecco, and we've actually got two guests here today. First off, shout out to Joe Corriere of the Point After on Cul-de-sac Sports Network for helping me get in contact with my first guest. I really appreciate it. While we're on the topic of shout out to Jerry Petito for becoming the first sponsor of the roundtable. Really appreciate that as well. And shout out to DJ Danny for my second guest, who we will be talking about later. And, the first guest that I'm going to introduce, he called in. He was a former defensive tackle on the Cleveland Browns. It's John Hughes. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. I do know you only have, you said about 15 to 20 minutes to spare today, which is perfectly fine. But when we were talking, we got in contact through LinkedIn first off. You told me about the barbershop, I believe it was, you were opening up in your hometown, King Culture, along with something for athletes called Crafted Athletes. So before anything, I know you wanted to talk about those two things, so why don't we talk about that first?
Yeah, just real quick, not take a lot of time, man. My cousin and I were starting a barber studio in my hometown in Columbus, Ohio, and we're going to call it King Culture Barber Studio. We closing on the building actually tomorrow and going to begin construction next week and hope to open up in July.
That's awesome,
and,
man.
I'm also, yep, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm also starting a defensive line, like hand combative, football combative type of work. It's called Crafted Athletes. So.
Okay, I do want to ask really quick, if you didn't make it as a football player, I'm just speaking hypothetically, would you have wanted to be a barber? Was that what you wanted to do?
That's funny, man. I actually I made my spending money in college and in high school by cutting hair. I went to Cincinnati for college, and I used to cut everybody on the football team and basketball teams. So.
Oh, so you used to give them all the different hairstyles before games.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, because I remember we did this in high school too. Like sometimes before the games, people would get shaved heads. Some people would get mohawks. They gave me a double rainbow one time. You go out with two mohawks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, it used to be a lot of fun, man. I miss days like that.
Yeah, well, I used to give haircuts like that, but I also gave good, clean haircuts you could go out to the bars with too. So.
Oh, so you just made everybody look fresh when they whipped out their fake IDs. I see what you're doing, man.
Man, that was my job.
I hear you, man. All right, so you attended Gahanna Lincoln High School, and you were obviously a standout in football there. You ended up getting a scholarship to play for the University of Cincinnati. So tell me about the transition from high school to college football. Was it difficult, easy? I asked this because I never got to play in college, so.
Well, the transition from high school to college, or did you say from NFL or college to NFL?
Well, you could tell me about both.
Yeah, so I mean, they were really both kind of the same. I think the high school to college was a little bit more of a shock because you're going from the big fish in a small pond to small fish in a big pond.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
it's a shock for a lot of guys, man, and that's why you hear a lot of guys transferring the first year. It's something you really got to get adjusted to, man. I was lucky to have a good group of guys around me that were older and
Yeah.
took me under their wing.
Yeah, no, getting used to college in general is just a shock. I remember when I had to get used to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to get used to balance and everything.
No, you're saying what, man? My bad.
I just said I had to get used to balance and everything. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And it's kind of the same thing with the NFL, from college to NFL, but this time it wasn't really about the strength and the speed. It was more about your knowledge of the game because you got guys you're playing against. I mean, for instance, I played against Alex Mack every day in Cleveland in practice, and he was what we call a savvy vet, man. He knew the ins and outs of the game. So being able to beat him was being able to outsmart him more than outpower him or outspeed him, you know?
Yeah, no, because you have guys over there in football, in the NFL specifically, who have such high football IQs. Like, look at a guy like Tom Brady, for example. Guy with, enormous football IQ. He knows where to put the ball, and he's not even the most talented guy. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He's not the most mobile quarterback. You just got guys with, very high football IQ that, just know how to play the game.
Yep, no doubt, man. Just call them guys. I mean, they're guys that study and they take pride in knowing the game inside and out, and that's the difference between the Hall of Famers and the guys that get a couple in.
Yeah, no, the guys in the NFL, they breathe football, and I think that's the difference. Yeah. They put all of their time into it. College can't actually do that. You kind of got to pass through college first.
You got a lot more to worry about in college, man.
Yeah, man.
That was a big difference too, man. I had a lot more spare time, I'd say, outside of football when it came to the NFL, because in college, you're worried about school, you're worried about, some guys had a little part-time job, you're trying to have a social life and pay attention to, and be in football. But, when you get to the NFL, man, it's just football.
Yeah, no, and, the guys that you're around, that becomes part of, like, your social kind of, like, aspect of life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's just what I would think, like, looking from the outside. But
yeah, and the guys that, like I said, when I went to Cleveland, man, it was a big change for me. But the guys there, they helped me out too. Having guys like Atava Rubin and Frosty Rucker. I mean, they were all, 5-6 years in, and they, helped me out and things I should know coming in as a rookie, how to take care of my body, the stuff that you don't really get an intro to until you're a little bit older in the league.
Yeah, man, that is very helpful. I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into your NFL career, especially with the Cleveland Browns, you played tight end in high school, and then you switched over to defensive tackle in college. I do want to ask kind of like about the transition with that, because I went from defense to offense when I went from freshman to sophomore year. But I can't picture that being as dramatic as a change because tight end, you're not just blocking, you're catching the ball. So how was that transition?
Right. Yeah, man, I miss my tight end days, man. I used to have hands of gold, man.
Oh, I can imagine.
I got too big for the position. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah.
When I got to Cincinnati, they said I could. I actually went to Cincinnati as a D end and came in a little heavy, and they kind of put me down to D tackle, and that's where I stayed.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Well, was it like easy to get used to though, from like that aspect, or?
Oh man, it was a lot to learn about the position, and
Okay.
And one thing I think what made my game different than a lot of people, man, I took pride in the little parts of the game, the techniques, and I think that's kind of why I started my business, Crafted Athletes, man, to be able to help guys in the younger stages of their career, man, develop their techniques so they can focus on everything else.
Yeah. I feel like the hardest thing, just looking at it from me, would be, switching from the mindset from offense to defense, because offense, you're in like a mindset of like protecting the quarterback, trying to run from guys, get into the end zone. Defense, you're coming at anything you see, trying to take guys down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a whole different mindset. Yeah. Excuse me. Were you saying something?
Oh, no, you're good. I was saying see ball, get ball, man. That's the defense mentality. And you're right, man. Going from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side, I had to bring that aggression out a little bit more, man, because you're reacting more than running a play necessarily on defense.
Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense. All right. During your college career, you did receive 2 awards. You got the Ray Sheekley Leadership Award and the John Pease Outstanding Lineman Award. So I just want you to explain a little bit why you got the awards and basically what they stand for and what they mean to you.
I I mean, both awards mean a lot to me, man. And it's a credit to my teammates, man, the guys around me. My teammates helped me out throughout the whole time, and really, I feel like the leadership award was what stood out the most for me personally, because it was a testament to how my peers felt about me, and that's what meant the most to me.
All right, gotcha, man. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the majority of your football career it was spent with the Cleveland Browns. Your first year, from a stat standpoint, when I was doing research, it seemed like your best year. 34 tackles, 3 sacks. I do have to ask, that seems like a decent year for your first year. So, were you just seeing less playing time for some reason? What was going on there?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. It was more of the playing time. Our defensive line coach started to move to for one, I had different D-line coaches throughout my time in Cleveland, and each D-line coach came in with a different mentality of rotating guys. So, that first year I rotated a lot, but that next couple of years it was a slower rotation.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. And also, the last team that you played on was the Buffalo Bills. You were released August 12th, 2018. I do have to ask, is anything NFL or maybe a different league like in the cards for you at all? Do you see that anywhere?
At this point, right now, no. I'm really focused on these two businesses that I got going on and kind of my post-career. I mean, I'm staying in shape and ready to go. So if I'm able to play, if I get a call, that's one thing. But if not, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just keep going with what I'm doing.
I do have to ask, have you thought about maybe like a different league? Because, you do have other leagues. You got the Arena Football League, you got the CFL. Has that ever been like a thought or?
Not necessarily for me, personally,
Okay.
and no disrespect to other leagues.
Yeah,
Just that I play at the highest level that I could play, and
absolutely.
for me to beat up my body for less at this point in my career, it just doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah, no, and I definitely agree
Yeah.
with that because you do have guys that were able to play in the NFL along with playing in other leagues. You look at
Oh yeah.
somebody's career like Doug Flutie, arguably the greatest player in CFL history, and then he came in the NFL and he did pretty well for himself. And he was doing
Oh
all
yeah.
right
No
before
doubt.
that. He was doing all right before that, but every, he could have one bad game and they're coming at his size. They're trying to put him as a backup. Yeah,
Mhm.
you got things like that.
Yep.
But
Yeah. That's the same way they used to talk about Drew Brees, man. I got a chance to play with Drew last year, man. And, that's one player, man. The size doesn't matter.
and he used to be Doug Flutie's backup too. That's the same thing.
Yep.
That's the
That's
craziest
crazy,
part.
right?
But
That just shows how long Drew's been in the league.
yeah, no. I'm thinking maybe he's got, what do you think? Another 2-3 years? Drew Brees?
Man, I'm not sure, man. I think I overheard something in an interview, him talking about this year was going to be his last year, this last campaign.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully, man, he makes the best decision for himself, man, because he's been in this game for a long time.
Definitely. I would like to see him play 2-3 more years. At the same time, I don't want it to be like a Peyton situation where he's getting carried off the field every game. You know what I mean?
Right.
I love
Yeah,
watching
like
Drew
my
Brees play, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. For me, man, it's like a personal thing. I would love to keep watching Drew Brees play like the rest of my life, but I know how the game is,
Yeah.
and guys got to hang him up at some point. And he's
Yeah.
had a great career, man, a great career.
Absolutely. One of the best of all time, no doubt. I do have to
Hmm.
I do have to ask though, how many years do you think Tom Brady's got left since we're on the topic of it?
Man, I don't think anybody knows that answer but Tom. But I think he's got a good 5 at least.
You think he's got
And,
5 more
and,
years?
and that sounds crazy to say, but you got to look at him as has he really slowed down too much? What he doesn't do with his strength anymore, he makes up with in his IQ.
Yeah,
So
no, absolutely.
when his IQ goes, that's when you can start to make that assumption about him retiring. But till then, man, this guy's on a roll.
Yeah. No, I mean, I do have to give some credit to, Bill Belichick, the running game they've got now, guys like Sony Michel. But,
Hmm.
he does have that football IQ, like you were saying. You're going to have this man like
Yeah.
Adam Vinatieri, though, dude.
Yeah.
Ageless wonder
Yeah.
over
I
here.
know.
Phew. All right, but one more question because I know you got to go. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl, Patriots or Rams?
Whew, man, it's hard to bet against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I
Yeah,
mean, and I got a couple of friends that are playing for the Patriots. Danny Shelton,
that's fair.
and then one of my old coaches, Coach Joe Kim. He's a pass rush specialist, a hand combat coach, and he's there too, man. So I'd love to see those guys get a ring.
Yeah, no, I can hear you on that one. That makes sense. Although I do have to say,
Hmm.
I feel like the Rams are the most equipped team to do it because they got the two guys to get pressure up the middle. You know,
It's very true, man.
yeah,
I respect the hell out of Sue
yeah,
and Donald's game, man. They got a great game inside. I mean, their defense in general was stacked, but their defensive line is like no other right now.
yeah. No, I can't think of a better defensive line than what the Rams have got going with their two tackles. But
Hmm.
I appreciate the pick. Thank you for coming on. I do have to
Yeah, no
ask,
problem, man.
yeah, I do have to ask, one more thing. I've been trying to get a couple of these with the last few guests really quick. I just want you to say, this is John Hughes. You're listening to the Round Table on Hamilton Radio.
This is John Hughes, and you listen to the round table. Oh, hold on one more time, man.
It's all good, man. Everybody messes it up at least once.
Oh, do they? All right, cool. I
Yeah.
don't feel bad.
Don Beebe did it like 3 times last week, and then I did it, and I messed
Really?
up too. Yeah.
So, hello?
Want me to say it again?
Yeah, one more time for me,
All
man.
right. This is John Hughes, and you're listening to the Round Table on Hamilton Radio.
This is John Hughes, and you're listening to the round table on Hamilton Network. Or Hamilton. Was it Hamilton Network?
You know what? That's good enough. I,
My bad, man. I'll do it one more time, man.
you want to do it one more time? I might have fun with
Yeah,
these
man, I
bloopers,
got you.
man.
You said what?
I might have fun with these bloopers, man.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
The way I got
About to say I can get a 60-second thing out of you and Don Beebe.
it.
All right. If you want to do it one more time, you can.
So just it's the round table on.
This is John Hughes, and you're listening to the Round Table on Hamilton Radio.
This is John Hughes, and you're listening to the round table on Hamilton Radio.
There we go. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. My bad,
You're
man.
getting these people
Hey, sorry
cheering
I
in
couldn't
here,
stay
man.
on longer, man. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man, no problem. I hope you are able to come back on soon, and I appreciate you calling in, man.
No doubt, man. Sounds good.
All right, take care, all right?
All right, later.
All right, later. All right, everybody. John Hughes, former Cleveland Brown. All right, he did only have 15, 20 minutes to spare as we went over. And this guest was a little bit unplanned. Like I said, shout out to the DJ Danny show. But I could appreciate this. Brett Eidman from Saturday Night Live. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing good? Good, man. I appreciate you coming on, especially since it was, about 5 minutes ago since I asked.
That's all right. That was a great interview.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
How long did he play for the Cleveland Browns?
I think he played for about 4 years, and then they released him, and then, he was going from, team to team, trying to, I guess, make an impact on each one, and, I just don't think he ever really stuck after that.
Wow.
Which,
It's tough.
I mean, it's a shame because, he did pretty well in his first year.
Yeah.
He's got, like I said, 34 tackles, 3 sacks. I think he even had a couple forced fumbles. He did pretty well.
That's a rough way to make a living.
Yeah. and plus, I never even got as far as college. So,
Yeah.
but then again, nobody's gonna look at a lineman who's 5'6". I've never heard of something like that. I'll appreciate it when somebody does, but all right.
Yeah,
So
that's a rough gig. Professional sports, forget about it. It's
yeah, man, definitely. All right, I do, have to ask. You were on Saturday Night Live, man.
yes.
All right, so tell me a little bit about that, because that's really cool. That was the first thing I heard about you. Then the second thing was dick jokes, but we'll get into that.
What can I tell you? Like years ago, I started to send in material, and I would send it back, and I would send in resumes and pictures, and I just kept at it.
Yeah.
And then one day they called, and I thought it was a prank call, and they said, we wanted you to come down and do a scene with Phil Hartman and Tony Danza and Kevin Nealon.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, great, it was just unbelievable. And I went down there. This is the first time I went down. And I go up to the Studio 8H at Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
And I have to jump on Phil Hartman's back and kind of bang him over the head with a club while his two colleagues were like two other cops in the scene. And they're like kind of like ignoring him. They're not even helping out their fellow cop. So I'm on his back, banging him in the head, and I go into the scene with him, riding him. I ride him out, and then Phil Hartman puts me down, and he says, "I'm really sorry, but I got a bad back." He says, "I got to get somebody who's lighter than you."
Oh,
And
shit.
I said, "Well, you have to do what you have to do." And he says, "Yeah." I goes, "I'm really sorry." And I said, "Well, no, that's okay." Meanwhile, my heart's breaking because I was like, "This is my moment, and it's over now."
Yeah, because of something silly.
Yeah,
In hindsight.
and then Phil Hartman and Kevin Nealon both came over to me and they said, "Look, we're sorry it didn't work out. We'll make it up to you." So I thought like, well, that's just a show business thing. Like, later, and then a few weeks later, they called me again to do something else.
Yeah.
So it was really, those guys were super nice.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that just from the standpoint of listening to it. So, did you do any other scenes with SNL or?
Yeah, I did. I think with Mary Tyler Moore and the one that she was hosting with Elvis Costello. I did. I did a thing with Kevin Hart not that long ago, but then they
Wow.
cut it from the show.
Ah,
It happens.
yeah,
I did with Michael Jordan, since we're doing sports
that's
here.
really cool.
We did a thing called the First Black Harlem Globetrotter, and it was really. And I played the referee that they kept beating up. So like years ago, that's what they did. That what they found was funny was beating up the referee.
Oh, yeah,
So
they do it in wrestling all the time.
yeah, so that's. And then I did not that long ago with basically the current cast. I played drums in a thing about Republicans. With the Republicans, and then each cast member of Saturday Night Live played another character, and I'm playing the drums with them. And
Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump is the best thing ever.
he's great.
It's beautiful.
Is there anything Alec Baldwin can't do?
Yeah. Although I did love the Brett Kavanaugh sketch with Matt Damon. That was
Yes.
sold perfectly. But
Yeah.
that's very true to your point also.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin's amazing.
All right, but I do want to talk about. I guess this is like a comedy album.
Yes.
All right, it's called "What's So Fucking Funny," and it's got a clown on the cover of it.
Now,
And everybody fucking hates clowns, so I see the irony.
yes. I actually did. I worked for. I'm not sure if you're old enough to remember Bozo the Clown, but I
Okay.
worked for the original Bozo the Clown for a little over 3 years, and I was doing gigs like all across the country,
Yeah.
making appearances and things like that. And when I got done with Bozo, and I kind of like it was time to say goodbye, I don't know. It was soon after I kind of was putting this album together, and I said, let's put a clown on the cover with a balloon penis.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice the balloon penis.
There you go.
That entire time I never even noticed.
See that? You never know.
God, the dude's hard as a rock. Look at him. Soft as a balloon, hard as a rock. The fucking irony. Makes no goddamn sense.
Viagra is wonderful.
Oh, I can imagine. Like literally, I don't even think I could get it like face it like this high. It's like at like a 90. It's at like a 45-degree angle going upward.
And it's red.
I can maybe get mine to 60. All right, but anyway, it's okay to talk about my dick because look at the tracks that he's got here. We got Ode to Scruffy, Me Dick.
My dick.
Oh, well, it's M-I. I just thought it was like Me
My,
Dick.
yeah, well, it's Chinese.
Oh, is it really? Oh, wow. That's great. Do you know what it means in Chinese, or is it just...
No, it's just that there was a Chinese restaurant called My Something, and they used MI. So I was like, all right, so now we...
It was pronounced My Dick?
Well, it was like something like that. Yeah, but they used my. It was M-I.
That's
And
beautiful.
and then when I think I don't know. I think I spelled Dick D-I-K on there.
Yeah, you did D-I-K.
Okay, so yeah, so it's
All
I'm
right.
trying to make it.
So that's probably what it was.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Next, we got the priest molestation hotline.
That when the priests were getting in tons of trouble for molesting kids, and
Yeah.
I in comedy I really like you try to go after the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna do 9/11 jokes, you better go after the
Yeah.
the
Go
bad
after like
guys.
the Bin Ladens and shit like
Exactly. Don't go anywhere else with it. So I was going after the priest on this, and also was making fun of lawyers, and that was the first bit that the satellite radio picked up on and started playing.
that. I was gonna say you can make lawyers the bad guy any day.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I poke fun of them and the priests in there.
All right. Next, we got Head Bob. He just does decks.
Right. Head Bob is a carpenter. He's a little feminine, and he just does decks. You know, whether you need a big deck, a little deck, a small, small deck, a wide deck, he will
Clean the
build you a
poop deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Swab it.
And if you want a deck, coming out of your back door, he could do that for you too.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la.
Exactly. So that's Head Bob. He just does decks.
All right. Next, we got. I was gonna say we got Blozo.
Blozo. Yeah, I think that's self-explanatory.
I was gonna say Bozo's hooker, basically.
Well, Blozo. Excuse me. I don't want to get sued. Blozo goes to a strip club and has a lap dance and things like that. It's just that's a sketch.
I was gonna say we got Please Don't Marry the Jew, which means Kyle, if you are listening, run from Ashley right now.
That's based on reality. I
Hey,
married
John.
a nice Irish Catholic girl.
What's up, man?
Read that first one and the last one together.
Ode to Scruffy, I don't
No,
like
no, no,
Bush.
no, no, no. The one with the Jew, married a Jew, and 14 and 15. Read them together.
Please don't marry the Jew and
And me dick, please don't marry the Jew.
And the next one.
My underwear grew.
No.
so there you go. There's rhyme.
It's like a sonnet. I don't even know if that actually has the right amount of syllables, but it's like one. You're getting like Shakespeare over here with your soundtrack.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I ever knew that rhymed. Please don't marry the Jew and my underwear grew. My underwear,
You probably never noticed.
I don't know if I knew that. My underwear grew is a parody of The Wonder of You, the Elvis Presley classic.
We need to do that for Jerry.
I destroyed it. Yeah. You'll never listen to
I
that
was
song
gonna
and
say-
say it again.
I was gonna say because Jerry's underwear probably expands like a balloon, after she sees an Elvis impersonator,
And yeah,
and not with air, not with oxygen.
and it is making fun of like Elvis impersonators. So you're.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Jerry should be here for this. I hope she's somehow listening and calls in. But we got a bunch of others. We got fan message. We got OB/GYN, hooker helpers, invitation. I don't like Bush. I think I said that one by accident. I was gonna say you can tell me about any of those. Definitely. I do want to know what OB/GYN stands for. Definitely.
Oh, it's where women go to get themselves checked out.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't.
You see, I just know it by the whole word. I didn't know the abbreviation.
Yeah, I don't know. Obsis something was the first word. Oh,
Yes, I know. I know what a gynecologist is. Don't look at me like that.
So anyway, we take a visit to one of those offices.
Put the lightsaber in the pussy.
You thought it was what?
He was thinking Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars. Oh, it could work that way too.
I was gonna say I didn't have anything I was thinking. I just had no idea. But then GYN, it's just like what the fuck? I should have seen that.
All right.
All right. What about hooker helpers, man?
Hooker Helpers is a system that you can get for your kids to get them through college. Hey, I'll be here all week.
All right.
Try the veal. So the hooker helpers is basically like a tutoring system that when the student learns things, he'll get more from the hooker helper. But you
Yeah,
have to build
gotcha.
to that. So the
Okay.
better you do with your homework and your schoolwork, the more action you'll get from the hooker helper.
What was that one movie with Adam Sandler? I'm trying to. Oh yeah, Billy Madison. That
Yes.
reminds me of that. You know, when he was trying to study, she took off an article of clothing, and then he kept getting answers wrong, and you put it back on. I'm like, you fucking asshole.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then we got Invitation, and I Don't
Right.
Like Bush. So you want to tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about those two?
Well, the one there, it was just a nasty message um, from a programmer up in Syracuse somewhere or Rochester, telling me how the "Please Don't Marry the Jew" was anti-Semitic and nobody's going to play this, and she didn't know I was Jewish, but that and then I told her that, and then she said, "Well, that makes it worse."
Yeah.
I said, "All right, I'm sorry." And then I won her over, and she said, "Well, if I'm ever appearing in that area, let her know, and her and her friends will come out and see me."
Gotcha.
The invitation um, was an invitation to a Republican event, and I just kind of used it as a beginning part of
Yeah.
I Don't Like Bush.
All right. So you were making fun of a little bit of everything, basically.
Yes,
That's a beautiful thing,
and as you
man.
can tell, in very good taste.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. It's almost like you kind of just got it from like Saturday Night Live. They make fun a little bit of everything. You make fun a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Sound like a perfect fit.
Well,
I think so.
I never was able to cross the line.
Yeah.
Lorne Michaels told me he was going to give me a shot, and he never did.
Okay.
So
Well, that's kind of a shame.
yes,
But
that's show business.
yeah. But I can appreciate what's on here. I can appreciate Bozo the Clown rocking out with his cock out on the back.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
clearly he clearly forgot to hide his balloon boner.
Yeah, he
But
makes balloon animals.
yeah, no. Do you have anything coming up right now, or?
I just finished a bunch of independent films. Um, I also did an episode of Daredevil on Netflix,
Nice.
and I did a thing with Bruce Willis. I don't know, 10 months ago, 11 months ago, a promo with him. And I'm waiting for some other things. I had a bunch of auditions last week, and
Gotcha.
I wonder if they're going to. One was for an HBO show, and I hope they call me again. Actually, they've had me in a few times, so I'm waiting.
Hopefully, you go on again and again and again, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what's nice is I get the audition through a manager, and then I go on them, and then they want to see me again, and then sometimes I get it, and most of the time you don't get it.
Yeah.
You could audition 100 times and not get something, and then you can just keep going and going, and eventually you'll get it
Yeah, no,
if
definitely.
you live long enough.
Yeah, really. But also, I can appreciate the Daredevil one because she's a big Marvel fan. I still
Oh.
have to start watching Daredevil. I'm on the Flash right now.
Oh, okay.
So, what did you play in Daredevil exactly?
I played a person at a town meeting who was responding to the speaker and also a lawyer
Okay.
that one of the main characters on Daredevil comes in, and I just do one-liners at them,
Okay.
and I was like, the guy in the audience who's, he thinks he's funny, kind of like one of those,
Yeah.
one of those, he's kind of like a square, but one of those guys who say something that he thinks is hilarious, and some of his friends will probably laugh because they just, they feel bad for him. Or
They're
something.
they're
Just
just over
jerks.
there and they have to listen to this shit.
Exactly. So,
You know what? Might as well just try to get through it.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. That was kind of like what it was, but I was just getting those one-liners out.
Yeah. Nah,
It was
I
fun.
gotcha. I was gonna say, do you remember that episode or no?
It was season 3, episode 8.
No, off the top of my head, but we were just actually talking about Daredevil today.
Wait, when were you talking about Daredevil?
Today in class. I
Oh.
actually have a history of comics class.
I was gonna say because you didn't mention Daredevil to me. I knew nothing of the sort.
But that's really awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one of the lead guys is in that scene. Not Daredevil, but the lawyer guy. It's not Rusty something. I can't remember his name right now, but the character.
Rusty, Dusty, Crusty,
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, it's something in those lines. Maybe I'll think of it at another moment. But he was great.
You might have to go back and watch the episode now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I have to ask you a question.
I'm sorry.
I have to ask you a question.
you want to come on?
Oh, God. Okay.
Ask me a question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So,
Hey, Gino. Hook her up real quick.
Oh yeah. And what songs do you want to hear? Like,
Oh,
He could put it. He could put. You
no,
could.
I mean, what you want to pick? What song you want to pick?
well,
I
how
don't
much time?
care.
Oh, what? How much? It depends on how much time you want to commit.
Probably more than like 23 minutes.
Oh, so it's
Probably nobody coming in after you. So
I mean,
Dave's not coming.
it's the fourth week. They don't usually come.
Okay.
the
They show up to
the priest thing is probably my favorite piece on there, but the My Dick one is only a minute long. So I mean, whatever you want to commit to.
We could commit to the priest one. I want you to ask your question first, though.
okay, I just have a question about the Daredevil set.
Okay, to the microphone.
I have a question about the
There you go.
Daredevil set. Was everything kind of red, or was there a lot of red in the room, so to speak? Do you remember?
Red, like
The color red, yes.
I don't.
Was the lighting kind of red, or
It took place like in a ballroom, so that's possible. I don't remember.
because there's a fan theory out there, like each Marvel character on Netflix has their own color. So Daredevil has red, and they try to keep the scenes all red.
Interesting, but they may do that in post. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
remember. I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Ask.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if that's his color.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. I never heard of that. Yeah.
I haven't actually heard of that either, so that's interesting.
Please talk into the microphone.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Nobody can hear you. That's fine.
I thought that was something on his thing.
That's like on the TV show Batman. Every time they would go to the bad guy's place, it was always it was crooked.
Yeah.
All the bad guys are crooked.
Ruben, we're gonna put you on the priest molestation hotline. Shit.
Father?
Oh,
Father?
this isn't Codename Kids Next Door. What the fuck are you doing? That's a whole different topic. All right, but did you want to put some of his stuff on, Gino?
Let's do the priest one.
Why don't we go from me dick into the priest molestation hotline?
Can we do the Elvis one?
The what?
The what?
The Elvis one. And
Elvis one?
We'll do Jerry.
Just for you, Jerry. We're gonna do the Elvis one after that.
Wow.
That's just will you run?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them. Like, are they doing okay?
And I'm just trying to think of the character that comes in. Daredevil's buddy.
What do you want?
Oh, you know.
I do?
Oh, I think you know. You remember like last
The
night?
very
Are
beginning.
you
was the-
serious?
Oh, I'm serious.
You
It was a great movie, but I'm getting kind of hungry.
What do you want?
Oh, you know.
I do?
Oh, I think you know. You remember like last night?
Are you serious?
Oh, I'm serious.
You want
Yes, I want MIDIK.
You want my dick again?
Mmm.
My name is Don Buck, and I own my dick restaurant. I want to invite everybody to enjoy my dick. My dick is delicious. You can eat all you can fit in your mouth. If you don't want to come to my dick will come to you. My dick the rivers, and now you can take out my dick. And we have delicious desserts for a very happy ending. Everybody love my dick.
My dick, everybody loves my dick. The Chinese food that won't taste like shit, it just can't be my dick.
Now you can find my dick on the internet at tastydick.com. And no MSG.
You can't just beat my dick. You gotta pay for it like Chinese food.
Exactly.
Thank you for calling the law firm of Yukon, Fondle, and Atone. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it now.
For a staff directory, press 1. To locate an office nearest you, press 2. If you'd like to report a priest molestation, press 3.
You have reached the Yukon, Fondle, and Atone Priest Molestation Hotline.
If you suspect inappropriate behavior by your priest, press 1. If you've been sexually molested within the last 20 years, press 2. If a priest is currently molesting you, press 3.
Thank you for reporting an in-progress priest molestation. Your input is important to us, so please stay on the line. Your call may be monitored for quality assurance.
Press 1 if you can currently see your priest's penis. Press...
You have reached the priest penis option on our voicemail system.
If your priest's penis is flaccid and pointing to the ground, press 1. If your priest's penis is standing at attention and pointing to the holy heavens, press 2. Quickly! You've been transferred to the Emergency Priest Erect Penis Hotline. Remain on the line for the next available operator, as your call is still very important to us. Your approximate wait time is
47 minutes.
Did you know that Yukon, Fondle, and Atone has been handling priest molestation cases for over 65 years? We have over 15,000 lawyers in all 50 states and over 100,000 operators standing by to take your complaint 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And yes, even Sunday. Unlike God, we never rest.
Please continue to hold. Our operators are currently assisting other victims, and your call will be answered in the order it was received. If you need immediate assistance or to speak to a live operator, press *759 unless you want the staff directory first, in which case leave off the 9 and you will return to the main menu. But if you don't need the staff directory and you want the options repeated, but you still need a live operator, press *597 or just blow it out your ass. We will be with you when we can. Thank you for your patience. An operator will be with you in approximately
58 minutes.
Due to overwhelming call volume, your complaint cannot be handled at this time. Please call back. Thank you. God bless.
God bless.
God bless.
I love the song choice, like I said, man.
What the Jesus?
Hello, friends. This is Head Bob, head carpenter at Home Depot. Do you love decks like me? Need a place to unwind after work and down a stiff one? Come to Head Bob. Whether you need an extension or a brand new deck, Head Bob's your handyman. But don't come to me for closets. I'm out of the closet business. I just do decks. I use only the most powerful tools and treated hardwood, and I'll treat your wood nice. Want a bigger deck? Whether you want a small deck or a big one or a long deck, call me, Head Bob. Me and the boys will nail your studs until your deck is fully erect. Already have a big deck? We'll come and stain it. We can attach your new deck to your back door, and there's nothing nicer than having a lovely big deck coming out of your back door. Just imagine
I thought you could only do that with surgery.
Face when he sits on your big, beautiful deck.
Come see Head Bob at Home Depot. He just does decks.
And I personally guarantee your satisfaction.
All right, so that's very politically correct music.
Oh, Billy, look! They're opening a new
wanna hear
Planet
it?
Wiener.
Oh my God, this is a
and
long
there's
one.
Blozo the Clown. Let's go check it out.
Oh, great. Come here, Sonny. Come smell my flower. Smell this.
Billy!
No, really, smell my flower. Oh, a squirting flower. You're really on the cutting edge, Blozo. Okay, you don't like my flower? I'll make you a ding-dong Danny Planet Wiener Jumbo foot-long balloon sword.
Oh my, Blozo.
Oh, maybe Mom would like a little wiener, too. Looks like my dog's cock.
Billy!
Well, it does. You must have a mighty big dog there, pal. Here, it's the sword of the Black Knight. What are those two round things? That's the handle. Looks like balls.
Billy! Don't talk like that. Oh, it kind of does. But don't talk like that!
Let's get out of here. This clown sucks.
Billy! Sorry, Blozo. He's really a nice boy.
Yeah, blow me. What's with these fucking kids? That's it, I'm out of here.
Hey, Blozo, where you going? You have another hour to go.
I quit. Do it yourself. Here, have a collector's item Blozo balloon sword.
Looks like my dog's cock.
Jesus Christ, what's with everybody? I'm out of here. Unfucking believable.
Hey, Blozo, have any more of those Planet Wiener balloon swords?
Just one, and I gave it to your mother last night.
Okay,
Yeah, buddy.
I'll go ask her for it.
Yeah, you do that. Goddamn horn! It's gonna rip my dick off one of these days. I need a beer. God, I hate kids. To think those parents were too stupid to pull out a second earlier. Shitbox car, come on! Yeah, come to Papa. Start, you bastard! Come on! You better fucking start. Now I got some time before little Johnny's bullshit birthday fucking party. First, I need another beer.
Hey, watch where you're going, asshole.
Yeah, blow me, blow me, blow me, blow me, blow me! Christ, I'm tired of these stupid jobs. I was top of my class at Balloon College. First clown out of the car with Ringling fucking Brothers. I had my own TV show back in the 60s, and now this crappy hot dog stand shit gig. I should kill myself right now. Hey, that fuckwad is walking his dog in the street. He's not that stupid, is he? Hey, you get your dog out of the street before I...
Hey, you fucking clown! You just ran over my dog!
Blow me!
You fuck!
Ooh, chubbies. Just what the doctor ordered. Assholes in my spot. That'll teach him.
Hey, Prozo. How's it hanging, baby?
I keep telling you, Head Bob, that's Blozo, and I'm not your baby.
Don't have a hissy fit, Prozo. Your regular table is available. Oh, I just love your big feet.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, you're not allowed to bring your own beer in here.
I'm done anyway.
Oh, I guess I'll get that, Prozo.
Glad I brought it back up.
Welcome to Chubby's, gentlemen. Remember, please keep your hands off the girls. Now, gentlemen, Candy will perform her famous all-nude spread eagle 180 lickety-split. Let's give it up for Candy.
Hi, Blozo, you sexy red-nosed love machine. Ready for a lap dance?
Hold your horses, sweet cakes. Let me finish my beer first.
And now, guys, listen up. For the next 10 minutes, there's a special 2-for-1 on lap dances. For clowns only.
Okay, I'm ready now.
Come into my VIP room. What do we have here? Ooh, please tell me that's not your horn.
Sorry.
I know what Blozo likes. Ooh. Just sit back and let me do all the work.
Whoa!
Ooh, horny, huh? Oh, big feet. I love a man with big feet. Oh, looks like the circus is coming to town. Pitching a little tent there, are we? Oh, I can tell you're loving this, Blozo. I think your little rabbit wants to come out and play. I bet it's a cute little bunny. Oh, it's getting bigger. You want your rabbit to come out and play? Oh, it's getting much bigger.
Pull it out! Pull my rabbit out! Whoa, Nelly!
I hope that was your flower.
Look what you did to my little Blozo.
Looks like my dog's cock.
Yeah, no, that was good, man. I appreciated that.
So politically incorrect.
Oh, that's why it's great.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be politically correct.
I haven't heard that stuff in a while. I haven't listened to it in a long time. I'm thoroughly embarrassed.
You're embarrassed? That was great, man. What's so fucking funny, that entire thing? Like, it was supposed to be.
It gets dirtier as time goes on for me, for some reason.
I was gonna say I can imagine Mary the Jew.
That's yeah, it's an Irish kind of an Irish type of song, and
Yeah, if you want.
that's a.
I was gonna say
you
we
guys-
got. I was
Wow.
gonna say we got fan message. Hooker helpers, my underwear grew. It sounds like a politically incorrect set, and that's what makes it great.
Yeah, you can't even put stuff like this out anymore.
Yeah.
It's just you can't make fun of certain people anymore.
Yeah, and
Almost, I actually can't make fun of anybody anymore.
it's a shame because nobody can really take it.
Yeah, I mean now they're going to start doing shows that that they're calling them politically incorrect shows. So before you even go in, that they're going to do humor that's going to, maybe attack everybody.
Yeah.
So
That's why I love this place. I can call Ruben a Tunisian night fighter and not feel bad. And I'm not even the one who made that joke. But, no, anything else that, you want to talk about? Do you maybe want to talk about some of your, past experiences, how you got into comedy really quick?
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the things that I not that long ago, we put out a film called In the Name of Comedy. And we won 7 film festival awards with it, and it was based on a little prank that I did that was on YouTube, and it was a video that went super viral.
Yeah.
And people misinterpreted, or actually they thought that it was a real thing, but it was fake. Yeah. But people thought it was real, and that kind of backfired on me. I was getting hate mail and really, really nasty YouTube comments and phone calls, and it got really. I was on the cover of Gawker and Inquisitor magazine, the online publications, and they were attacking me, and it was brutal. So this whole movie was about why I did it, and then what happened afterwards, the aftermath, and some of the people that were involved with it, and I was trying to clear the air a little bit on it because it wasn't meant to be. Well, I'll tell you the scenario. Where the comedian is wearing Asian glasses, and he's making fun of 2 Asian people in the front, and then I'm kind of hitting on the girl, and the guy then comes up and punches me and knocks me down, and people thought that was a real, but it was all completely set up, and people just didn't like the idea. I was, going after them, that group of people, and I deserved to get hit.
No.
And so it was interesting how people thought that it was okay for that guy, the Asian guy, to hit me and knock me down. That was fine, but me saying something that's off color, that was not fine.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but the material was inappropriate, and that was the whole idea. But I didn't think anyone was going to believe it because it was just too set up.
Yeah.
But
and then they ended up believing it.
They ended up believing it. A lot of people did, and there was some that's like, "Hey, that was fake, wasn't it?" That kind of thing. So it was a whole big online controversy, and in hindsight, it was not a good move on my part.
So many things get made out of nothing these days, though, and that's what I don't like about it. You take something that is supposed to be a joke, and it goes in a million different places that it shouldn't. You got people tearing down a whole bunch of kids movies. You got people basically trying to tear down anything they can get their hands on. I think somebody even got offended at Chick-fil-A one time somehow, which I don't understand, but
I think that any humor is going to upset somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
If you're going to do anything that's a little edgy, somebody will always say you shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Even still, I can appreciate you taking the higher road when a lot of people felt that way, because there's a lot of comedians out there that will just tell shit like that and offend, regardless of whether they offend people or not anyway. So I mean, I can appreciate that, even though I think you got a lot of flack you didn't deserve.
Yeah, and also when the CD came out, it was at a time, it was 2006. It was at a time where things weren't as where they are today.
Yeah.
And it was I couldn't do. There was some stuff that I used to do in my stand-up act that was a little bit like that. I can't even do it anymore. Yeah. And if I do it, I'm just I'll never work in that place again. Or the people just kind of get up and walk out on you or something like that. And I never want that to happen. But you start to feel uncomfortable because some people are not enjoying this.
Yeah. And, because I've been doing comedy for maybe about 10, 11 months. I've maybe been on a stage maybe 10 times.
Oh, cool.
And I'll write something, and a lot of times I'll even get uncomfortable with the joke. Not because I don't think it's funny, but because I don't know how that audience is going to take it. Because people don't realize you're standing up in front of people you don't know. It's not like talking to your friends,
right?
And you know where their comfort zones are and all that stuff.
You know your audience at that point. Your friends, they're your audience.
You know your
are.
friends. You don't know the people that, you're standing in front of.
Right, and if you feel a little bit uncomfortable with your material, it's going to come across because you're not going to sell it as much as you sell something that you feel perfectly comfortable doing.
Exactly, and it takes longer to get used to when, you write stuff like that. But I can honestly say the best crowd I think I've performed in front of. You remember when we went to Greenwich Village? That was probably the best crowd I could say that I performed in front of. And it's because, they were just into the act, they, weren't so easily offended, when, some, edgy stuff was told. I think one joke started with my dad's in a wheelchair and the crowd just busted out laughing after that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that makes you feel uncomfortable. Now they start feeling bad for you.
Yeah, no. And
where did that go?
And I remember she told me after that, I didn't know how this was gonna go. So she first said, she was like, so my dad's in a wheelchair, and the crowd just busted out laughing. She was like, if they weren't laughing, I was literally just gonna talk about my dad being in a wheelchair for 20 minutes, and it was gonna be awkward.
Is your dad in a wheelchair?
No, my dad isn't.
Okay.
But no, this wasn't what I said. This was what somebody else said.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know what happened that night. You were there.
Yeah, I don't know where you go from hey, my dad's in a wheelchair. Now the audience is feeling.
Yeah, if the audience isn't laughing
they start
at you,
feeling bad for you,
Yeah.
and
Instead, they were laughing with it the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, Lisa Lampanelli does a joke that says, doing a 69 with somebody in a wheelchair is like Meals on Wheels. But
I was gonna say if you put wheels in the back, you can look like a Hot Wheels car.
There you go. And remember the lightning loops?
Yeah. Somebody could just push you by the ass, be like, Hot Wheels, beat that.
Yeah.
Just push him down Kingdom Ka, have him set up like a roller coaster. It'd be like a Hot Wheels track. Just get a spring in the beginning of it and everything. Imagine. That'd be some shit.
Match cars used to frustrate me because they're always falling off the track.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It drive me nuts. Same with that comedy routine. Who's on first? You ever hear that? Adam Costello.
Yeah, I have.
As a kid. Yeah, who's on first? What's on second? Third base, and I used to drive me nuts as a kid because I used to get so frustrated. How stupid are you not to know what's what?
Yeah,
really. And but it's a classic comedy piece.
I was gonna say that's a joke my dad says a lot actually.
Well, who's on first? That kind of.
Yeah, that's something he always used to say.
That's a classic.
Now he'll just randomly tell me jokes because I started doing stand-up comedy. And I'm gonna be like, you never felt the need to tell me all these jokes before. Why are you doing it now?
Well, the thing is that people will tell you jokes and say, "Oh, you can use that in your act." Meanwhile, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. That's what
I would love to use it in my act, but it doesn't fit. Yeah, there you go.
Although my dad did tell me one joke that I liked, just for, the sake of time, I'm not going to go into the whole thing. But, he told me about, this stand where they were selling apples for $5. They were like, $5? Why is the apple so high? Because it's supposed to taste like a woman's pussy. He's like, nah. He's like, the dude selling them is like, yeah. So he tries it. Takes a bite. That tastes like shit. Turn it around.
No.
That was the only joke he ever told me that I laughed at. Yeah, no, that was a good joke. That's one I've actually thought about using. Everything else, fuck it. I don't want to use it.
Yeah, some of my dad's jokes I couldn't repeat.
I have no problem repeating the shit he says. It's fine. But how did you even get into comedy anyway?
I'm just basically watching Saturday Night Live back in 1975.
You just decided you wanted to do it from that?
I think so. I just wanted to be those guys.
Yeah.
You know, and then my parents were into comedy. I remember as a kid we had Cheech and Chong albums.
Oh yeah.
And I forgot who else we listened to. God, but we had comedy albums. I mean, we had George Carlin records, and they were into comedy, and so that kind of rubbed off on me.
Yeah.
And
gotcha.
so I said, then it took a million years later to say, I want to get up there and do it.
Yeah. No, honestly, nobody, thought about telling me to do it probably until my senior year of college. That's when people started first suggesting it. And it took me, I want to say, a year and a half to actually get on stage.
Yeah,
because when
scary.
somebody first told me that, they were like, "You should try stand up." I'm like, "Nah." And I'm thinking about it in my head. It's going to be completely different telling jokes to random strangers because I don't know where their comfort level is. When you have conversations with people, you're laughing. It's a good time. Like I said, you're in your comfort zone.
Right. You're not under
And I was
pressure.
thinking about that in the beginning.
Yeah.
And, finally what got me to do it is I had a friend. Unfortunately, I'm not friends with her anymore, but she wanted to be a writer. So I told her, I'm like, okay, if you write some stuff, get some ideas for a book you might want to do later, I'll take a shot at it. And she, showed me the stuff she was writing about. So I'm like, okay, I'll put up my end of the deal. And so I got on where I did my first set was Take 5 over in Robbinsville, right around here. You know where the Friendlies is?
No.
Okay.
But I know Friendlies.
Friendlies on 33.
I think they all look alike, don't they, the Friendlies?
Yeah, pretty much. But the Friendlies on 33, Take 5 is right next to it. That's where I did my first set. It's like a little knockoff Starbucks kind of.
Okay.
It's a little coffee place. And I ended up doing my first set there. I did 10 minutes. And
your first set was 10 minutes?
My first set was 10 minutes.
That's a lot.
The longest set I've ever done thus
Yeah,
far.
sure.
I still haven't done a set that long since.
Yeah.
I think the longest I've had since then was maybe 7. And that was when I performed in Greenwich the last time I was there.
At the Greenwich Village Comedy Club?
Greenwich Village Comedy Club. I did Evan Weiss's show over there.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I my first set ever was at a comedy club, and really, really stupid. I invited family and friends to go to the show, and this is going to be you at your worst.
Yeah.
And now you tell your family and friends to come.
Mine just showed up.
Yeah, I would have been. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't tell a soul, and I would
Yeah.
just go there and do it. But having the family and friends there, which is nice for them to come out and support me, but it was really terrible.
They see you at your worst because
absolutely.
Yeah, you're not used to putting a set together. You're not used to making jokes flow. And,
and your jokes are terrible.
Yeah. And on the other side of that, on the audience side, you're going to laugh at a friend easier than you would at a normal person.
Right. You want to support them.
Yeah.
Well, they do that at all the comedy clubs, or even the UCB in the city, all the improv places. They tell the students they have to go watch, the teachers perform and everything else, and they just over laugh at everything.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot at open mics too, where people are over laughing or not laughing at all because they don't want to support the comedian. You get both sides of that.
Yeah.
But it's a rough one. I've done an hour. I've done many sets for an hour set. That's
I'm pretty
brutal.
sure I'm not ready for an hour.
It's brutal.
I know damn well I'm not ready for that long.
Yeah.
Not even close.
That's a rough thing to do.
I think, I would maybe want to get comfortable first doing maybe 15, 20 minutes. I think that would be a challenging set for me, but I think if I put enough stuff together, I would be able to do it. I would want to do it at least once, get it out of the way, and try to work on that.
That was always my comfort zone, doing sets about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That was I love that. But there are times when you get booked and you have to do a longer set.
Yeah, and they ask you to do an hour.
And they say, oh, yeah, or so-and-so didn't show up. We need you to stretch it a little bit. And, you stretch it. And I remember there was 3 shows I did out in Pittsburgh. I had to do an hour each show.
No.
And I had to make sure that it was good. Not just an hour, but you have to make sure it's a good hour.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's a good hour if they're asking you to do an hour. If they're asking you to do like 7 or even 10 minutes, you can get away with bombing a couple sets. But if they're asking you to do an hour, make sure it's a good hour.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that have 10 minutes of material that are doing an hour set.
Yeah.
And that's brutal.
Yeah.
And plus, you just go around and ask everybody where they're from and what do they do, and you can't go around to everybody in the club saying, hey, what's your name? What do you do for a living?
Yeah, you can't do this like it's alcohol rehab. They're not going to say hi to everybody. It doesn't work like an AA meeting.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but, no. Honestly, this wasn't planned, but it was great having you on. It was great meeting you tonight.
Same here.
And,
thank you.
I just appreciate being able to, have somebody who is a veteran on in that aspect, too. How long have you been doing comedy?
Oh, God. Geez, I don't know, 30.
30 years?
I guess I'm probably like 27, 28.
27, 28?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I think the only person I've known who's doing it that long is Mike Bonner. He's been doing it like 20-something, right? Yeah. But, no.
I'm not sure who that is.
He used to have a show here, actually.
Oh, okay.
He left, I think, maybe 6 months ago, around. Probably around that.
Is he related to Beverly Bonner?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'd have to ask him. But, yeah, once again,
thank you for coming on.
Oh, my
especially
pleasure.
last
Minute. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And, shout out to John Hughes. Thank you for coming on as well. This has been the Roundtable here on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. We will see you guys next week. Same time, same channel. John Hughes and Brett Eidman, everybody. Good night.